So we got 2023
we imported projects and exported jobs.
and 2024.
Importing foreign products and exporting American jobs.
22,
bottom up and the middle out, not from the top down. To build an economy from the
23,
bottom up and the middle out, not from the top down. Building an
24.
economy from the middle out and the bottom up, not the top down.
So speaking of all these Democrats in the State of the Union, what did you think about the speech? I did get a chance to listen to. Well, I listened to the Timcast version where they were watching it. I'd listened to the podcast version of that in the car. So technically, I didn't watch it, but I listened to the whole thing. What in general? What were your thoughts?
Okay, here we go. I have watched a lot of State of the Union addresses. Not that I've watched every one of them since I turned 18 years old or whatever, but I've seen quite a few of them. I don't know if in my lifetime I've ever seen a speech so angry, divisive, just absolutely full of hate.
Tell us how you really feel. Am I right?
I mean, Joe Biden tries to pass himself off as, this congenial, real guy,
He's the old grandpa.
Joe from Scranton, Scranton Joe. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you happen to be watching this live stream, let me tell you something. Joe Biden is a mean-spirited, petty little son of a bitch. He always has been. He thinks he's smarter than what he is, and the worst part is he's got the arrogance to match his stupidity. Now, being stupid for a politician is one thing. Being stupid and arrogant is dangerous.
Indeed.
But being stupid, arrogant, dangerous, and having power is really bad.
It doesn't get much worse. It doesn't get much worse than that.
No.
Yeah, I honestly didn't think it was super, and maybe this speaks to the kind of environment that he's already created. But I didn't feel like it was that divisive per se. I thought it was rather boring and run of the mill. I do think it was very it definitely attacked election deniers and my predecessor, it definitely went after, the whole thing about when they say our democracy, they don't mean our democracy. They mean their democracy. It is our to them. We're just not part of it.
We're not invited.
Here's why I say divisive. I mean, you're right. In terms of the content, I mean, normally, the State of the Union address fulfills any number of functions for the president of the United States. One of them is I want to lay out my policy agenda, for the coming year, the things I'd like to see the Congress work on. Mm-hmm. Well, Joe Biden, in one form or another, has been giving this same speech ever since he got in. I mean, the domestic policy items aren't that innovative. They aren't that new. They aren't that whatever. Now, the good news is, by hook or crook or by pure luck, most of what he's wanted to do hasn't been done yet, thank God. Yeah, absolutely. Now the divisive part is I saw him do something last night. The last time I saw this done was when Barack Obama did it. And for those of you who are watching and you're wondering what I'm referring to, there was a State of the Union address where Barack Obama got up and chastised the Supreme Court of the United States while they're sitting there for the State of the Union over the Citizens United case, which had to do with campaign finance laws and campaign finance money. Biden took it one step further last night and flat out threatened them.
Is that a threat?
The Supreme Court's sitting right there, and Biden's like, you don't know the power of women, but come this fall, you'll understand it. And I'm like, oh my God. That's why I said I don't ever want to hear Joe Biden or any Democrat ever again say to me, oh, he's just, Trump or MAGA Republicans, they're destroying the political norms and customs and traditions. No. You did more to shred that the other night, big boy, than Trump could ever do on his best day.
When we do that, obviously you're familiar with the term projection. That is indeed projection. And over here, we call out projection with a dilly. Projection.
Dilly.
So you mentioned, the same thing over and over and over. I did not search this. I was just setting up the stream, and it just happened to pop up when I was, just want to have something on on my phone, setting everything up, and this is what pops up right after I was talking to our resident liberal about what he thought, and we'll get into that. But just check this out. Joe Biden, so it says Biden's been giving the same speech for years.
Yeah.
So we got
For 2 decades,
2023.
we imported projects and exported jobs. Now, thanks to what you've all done, we're exporting American products and creating American jobs.
And
Now, instead of
2024.
importing foreign products and exporting American jobs, we're exporting American products and creating American jobs. Build the economy from
22.
the bottom up and the middle out, not from the top down. To build an economy from the
23.
bottom up and the middle out, not from the top down. Building an
24.
economy from the middle out and the bottom up, not the top down. We're the only
Going
nation on earth
22.
who's always turned every crisis we faced into an opportunity. We're the
23.
only country that has emerged from every crisis we've ever entered stronger than we got into it.
And
Here, COVID-19
back to
no
22.
longer need control our lives. Today, COVID no
23.
longer controls our lives. The
And
pandemic
if you're missing what's going on here, is he's saying the same thing year after year after year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing necessarily innovative or new or fresh or different.
That sounds familiar.
I mean, Bill Clinton, after the 1994 election, at least had the good sense to realize, dude, if I don't change the way I'm doing things, I'm not going to be a second-term president. And he did. I don't think Biden has that capacity. Or maybe it's better to say the people around him won't let him have that capacity.
It's interesting that you say that, because I had, like I said, we have most of the Discord community. Shout out to Discord. It is free to join the Discord server. But we have, it's mostly people think like us. Although we implore everybody to join. And the most outspoken liberal guy, was talking about how we should all check out the State of the Union speech. And so after listening to it, and again, just very run of the mill, and exactly what we're seeing here, it's just the same, same thing that we've seen. Yeah, exactly. I'm 69, cut and paste speeches. I asked him, I said, I'm curious, what, if anything, you found poignant for average Americans in the State of the Union? And I just told him I'm listening to it, and I'll be discussing it with my esteemed guest tonight. But I'm not convinced that not watching that watching the speech changes everything or anything for anybody. With the exact point, and this was before I came across this. And he gave me this 13-point thing about how, number one, passing bipartisan laws, including infrastructure bill. Number two, pointing out best in the world inflation rate. We're down as well as the best economic jobs recovered from COVID. Highlighting and going on and on. And so basically nothing. That's the answer to the question. Because like us, he's a politics nerd. He just happens to be on the other side. But if Trump gave a speech that was, only about, taxes and even if, I struggle to make the comparison of how bad it would be. But if that's all he talked about, and then you came to me and asked what the average American cared about in that speech, and I said that, the only assumption that I have is that you don't understand what the average American thinks about.
I'm just a regular Joe.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Joe Biden has been, like many politicians in Washington, D.C., has been so insulated for all these years, he doesn't have any idea anymore. When's the last time you thought about Joe Biden getting out of his car to pump gas? Yeah, he's got that green Corvette. I'm sure he's very proud of it. But when's the last time he went out and pumped gas somewhere? When's the last time he went? Yeah, when's the last time he went to a grocery store? When's the last? Name a common activity that you and I or anyone else in your audience does. And imagine Joe Biden doing that. Won't happen. And because of that, he doesn't think about it. I mean, I always find it fascinating that there's a certain percentage of political liberals that will dream up ideas about how the world ought to work and have not an idea in the world about the practical reality of it. For example, electric cars. Now, no. Here's my thought. If someone wishes to purchase an electric vehicle, fine, not a problem.
You bought a Prius?
That is your choice, your money. You may find good, practical, solid reasons for you to do that. However, the argument that says that we're going to make everybody in America do this, with, first of all, not having the infrastructure in place to make that happen as far as the charging stations. And then the other consideration is, where are you going to get the electricity? Well, you still got to use oil and gas and coal to burn the electricity to make the cars run.
Yep. And then
how do you do that?
And it's even at a more personal consumer level, the fact that these cars don't work in the cold.
No.
They just saw that the Cybertruck. I love Elon. But they just saw that the Cybertruck will rust with not even if it's with just like the morning dew. I might be exaggerating a little bit there, but
Yeah.
it's a car that rusts, and it's like they're not there yet. We're not there yet. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed that clip, check out the full live stream link in the bio and catch me live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. See you there.